What's up guys, Rapskyne here. In today's video I wanted to discuss a very controversial addition coming to Infinite's multiplayer. So 343 did an employee interview with Andrew Witz, who is the lead multiplayer designer, but these employee interviews aren't really the place that 343 typically announces new stuff coming to Infinite. But this time we got somewhat of a bombshell when it comes to announcing a new mechanic in the multiplayer with the confirmation of a ping system. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into what Andrew had to say when he was asked on what he does on a daily basis as the lead multiplayer designer. So he says, "It's my job to guide and mentor a team of designers as we all make Halo multiplayer modes and systems. That means we get the honor of working on classic Halo modes like Capture the Flag, Slayer, Oddball, and Big Team Battle, as well as new modes that bring more variety to Halo Infinite. It's our responsibility to make sure that modes are fun, clear, comprehensive, and competitive. My team also gets to work on awesome multiplayer systems like weapon spawners, voice-over messaging systems such as the classic Halo Announcer and the new personal AI, and the Mark system, which is a feature where players can mark a spot in the world that lets their teammates know vital information like an enemy position or weapon location." Okay. So there's some interesting stuff in there, but the biggest takeaway from this paragraph is the confirmation of a ping system, or what they're referring to as the Mark system. So I actually made a video on this very topic years ago leading up to Halo 5 where I discussed whether or not spotting enemies would be a good thing in Halo. So I know this is going to be a very controversial addition to the game, especially when it comes to the competitive settings. So in the interview, they don't really go into any further details on the Mark system or how it would work, other than you can simply spot enemies and weapons. They just mention it and then just brush right past it. But as of right now in Halo games, there really isn't any way to communicate or do callouts if you're doing solo queue and you or your teammates don't have any mics. In other games like Gears and Apex, the ping system is a very useful tool if you don't have a mic, and it's a very quick and efficient way of communicating what's going on in a match without the need to physically speak to anybody. But the ping system can be even more useful when you use it in combination with callouts using a mic. So being able to tell your teammates where somebody is on top of having a physical marker on them is a huge thing, and it can really be a great way of effectively communicating where they are. So now Halo 5 actually had a feature where the in-game Spartans on your team would actually make callouts automatically. You couldn't really control it or specify what you wanted them to say, but they would say things like an enemy's location or what their health was. Like they would let you know if they were one shot on pink 3 or something like that. And then they would also be like an announcer that would tell you when certain power weapons were going to be spawning up, which could be useful if your team doesn't have any mics. But again, it's very useful in combination with that where you have the in-game Spartans talking to you and your teammates with mics. But there were no actual physical markers when it came to enemy players. It's always only been audible updates. So I think if a ping system is implemented correctly, it could be a great thing in Halo. Coming from the perspective of a new player, it would definitely help them with their awareness and being able to help communicate where enemies are on the map and where they may have dropped weapons. So it can definitely benefit experienced players as well who may not have mics, Puma, and can help enhance callouts with physical indicators in the game as well. But at the same time, I do have to consider that there is already equipment in the game like the threat sensor that will show you where enemies are behind walls, pretty much just like Promethean Vision did in Halo 4. So I wonder, when you're spotted, if you're going to have an indicator on your screen letting you know, or, we really just don't know how that's going to work at the moment. So I think the Mark system could definitely have a lot of benefits, and I could see it working in the more social game modes and playlists. But when I think about it in competitive modes, it almost seems like there may just be too much information being conveyed to players. But I don't know. I think if the ping system works similar to how it does in Gears, where you can only spot enemies and weapons, then it could work just fine, I don't want it to be something like Apex where you can just spam ping, 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 like letting you know where enemies are. I feel like that would be very annoying and could just confuse players, really. So I don't know, man. It's really hard at this point in time to really critique it too much because we haven't seen it in action yet, and we really have no idea how it will actually function in the game. So it's actually really important to sign up for the Halo Insider program if you haven't done that already. And this way we can try out the ping system or the Mark system and give it our feedback before the actual launch of the game. So I don't know. That's really all I have at this point, guys. A ping system is confirmed in Halo Infinite. It's another huge change in the Halo sandbox. So you guys will have to let me know what you think. Do you think it could work, or do you think it should just be ripped from the game from the get-go? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Repskying out.